Well, take me back to 2004. What landed you behind bars?
In 2004, unfortunately, I was selling drugs and I got arrested for selling drugs in Charlottesville, Virginia.
How old were you then?
I was 25. I was 25 years old. I made some bad choices at that time. Not saying I'm a bad person, I just made some bad choices. In the process of that, I was in Albemarle County Jail, Regional Jail, and a riot had transpired. And I ended up being one of the culprits that got pointed out of a riot. At that time, I was charged with 4 charges: attempted escape, abduction, and assault, 2 assault charges. Then I went to court in Albemarle County, and I received 13 years on top of the federal time that I had.
What was the time, how long were you sentenced for the original drug charge?
I wasn't sentenced yet when that charge had happened. I was not sentenced. I still was going back and forth to court.
When did the riot happen at the jail? What year was that?
2004, August 14th, 2004.
And so what happened when that riot broke out?
An officer got assaulted, and it was like a blur because a lot of things had happened on that day. Officer got assaulted, some inmates got assaulted also, and I was one of the guys that got pointed out.
How much do you regret that night, that day?
That day is probably one of the worst days of my life. Because if that day didn't happen, I wouldn't be here going through this situation right now. That person who I was at 25 is not the person who I am at 46. I'm a totally different person, all the way around the board, mentally wise, emotionally wise, physically wise. I have lost a lot being in this situation. I have lost watching my daughter grow up because she wasn't even born when I got incarcerated. So it was hard. I lost parents, I lost grandparents, I lost brothers, I lost my life, for something that it was for no sense.
How does serving 18 years change a man?
Say it again.
How does serving 18 years change a man?
It changed a man mentally. It changed a man emotionally. If it don't change a man, then a man don't have a heart. And I know for me, it have changed me tremendously. I'm not that same person. I think before I react. I think about other people's feelings as well as mine. I think about how somebody want to be treated the same way I want to be treated. So yes, it changes you a lot. And it's either you're going to grow up as a man and take responsibility and be a bigger person, or you're going to continue on going through situations like this as an older guy. And that's not what I want for myself.
How did you first learn about the earned sentence credits that you could get?
In 2019, I know about it through the legal courts, and that the bill was going up for to the House, and I knew that I had qualified for it because of my time, how long I've been incarcerated, and because of my charges. So in 2020, when I had heard that it passed, and they needed the time just to get the software and everything started, they needed a couple of years. I knew that it applied to me because they here, Coffeewood, they called me over to medical, did medical discharge for me. I got the paperwork over there. They did DNV, they did Social Security card, and they called my loved ones 3-4 times and said that I was leaving, and can they come pick me up.
So what happened?
12 days prior to the law going into effect, I was called down here to the same building, and they informed me that the governor had put an amendment to the budget bill and add in that if you had a violent charge with a non-violent charge, you was not gonna get it. And this was after they done told my family members, told my daughter, told me, gave me paperwork showing me that I'm getting released. And that was devastating.
Can you describe that devastation to me?
That was devastating to my mental, because my hopes was very much high. My daughter was getting ready to go to college, and I haven't been there for none of her life. And she really, really, really wanted me to take her to college, and that broke her down. We found out the day before Father's Day. So I ended up going on a live video visit with my daughter, and she broke down. My mental have not been the same since that situation had happened. Like, my father, he got cancer. He 84 years old. He was waiting for me to come home, you know, and it broke him down. To this day, it still breaks me down. I'm not the same person anymore, because it broke me down emotionally, it broke me down mentally, it broke me down physically. And my family, they devastated. They thinking I'm never gonna come home. And I deserve it. I did my time. Since I've been incarcerated, I always been GTL level 1, earning credit sentence all the time. I never went down. I got 2 write-ups. I did everything I was supposed to do. I deserve that.
What did you have to do in order to, were you doing things about, to earn the sentence credits? What were you doing here?
I went to classes. I took trade classes. I got a job, and I just stayed fraction free. Because that's one of the criteria. You had to be programming. You had to have good disciplinary. You had to, and that's what I did. I did that all these years because, I'm doing it for myself, not for nobody else. But because I'm doing it for myself, I should get rewarded for it, because that's what the bill did. The bill was saying anybody who was, eligible, then, and they was doing what they were supposed to do inside the institution, they would get it. And it affects everybody as a whole. It's not just me. It affects my family. It affected the 556 people who was affected, who was supposed to go home immediately. And overall, it affected 9,000 people. So that's 9,000 families that's affected by this situation right here. I'm surprised I'm not on medication. You understand? Because that's how much my mental has been broke down behind that. And I'm being honest. And my family, they devastated. My daughter, they devastated. That's why they reached out and contacted, because they know what was done. It was wrong. It was wrong on every level, because for a governor to put in an amendment to another bill that was already passed into a budget bill, that wasn't right.
They say our streets are safer, the Attorney General, the governor, because you're still behind bars. They say you're a violent criminal. You need to do your time. What do you say to people who...
I say the people, a person who came in at 25 is not the same person who they are at 46, and they deserve a second chance. You can't handle everybody for what they did when they was younger. This world must be built on forgiveness. Everything is about forgiveness. And what he's saying is wrong, because if you look at the statistics, they show that non-violent people comes back to prison way more than violent the violent prisoners come back to prison, because a violent prisoner have a longer stay than a non-violent offender. So by you having a non-violent offender, it's more greater chance of you coming back because you didn't get a lot of time. But for people that have violent crime, they hardly come back. It's like 5% that comes back to prison.
You and your daughter, Naya, right?
Yes.
You and Naya had some big plans
Yes.
after Father's Day.
Yes, we had. I was gonna take her to college. She got a academic scholarship to go to college, and like I said, she wasn't even born when I got incarcerated. And I never been to a graduation. I never been to a school function. I never been to nothing. And this was like the big one. And I told her, I gave her a promise. I said, I'm coming home. I'm gonna be there to take you to college. So when it didn't happen, it broke her down. It broke her down. It broke me down. You know, there's no way where I could even explain the feeling inside or how I'm feeling now. Even to this day right here, I'm feeling a certain way. You understand? Because I lost everything else in this situation. I lost my mother. She was young, 56 years old. I lost my grandmothers. I lost everybody. And my dad, as I said, he's sick. And he told me the other day, he said, I don't want to close my eyes without you being here free. And that hurts because you don't know anything. It could be the last day. You understand? And I can't speak for nobody else, but I know me. I will never come back to nobody prison again. I would never do a crime, never break the law.
Your father has cancer right now? Okay. So, did you go to the ACLU, or did they come to you, or did Naya?
No, my daughter, Naya, she contacted them and explained to them what had happened. And they emailed her back, and they called her, and they got all my information, and then they contacted me. And then, I explained to them what happened, and that's how we got connected.
So you felt like there was a glimmer of hope when they filed that petition?
Yes, I definitely thought it was a hope because everything was in black and white. Like I said again, they try to make it seem like nobody never got nothing in black and white, saying that they was gonna get released. But I didn't get a date, but I had actually got everything leading up to getting released. Medical discharge, they only do medical discharge when you got 60 days or under. DNV, they only give you DNV IDs when you got 60 days and under. So by them giving me all this stuff and contacting my loved ones, they letting them know that I will be getting released within 60 days. And it didn't happen. I'm still here.
Now, the judge denied.
Yes, the judge denied, saying that nothing was given, a date wasn't given to me. That was her grounds to saying that she denied the aid. And that's why I said that was false, because somebody had to call Coffeewood to get them to prepare me to leave. Coffeewood they don't know if you're leaving or not. It was somebody from higher up, what if it was Richmond or wherever, I don't know, contacted Coffeewood and told them to get this person ready to be going.
Is there a paper trail of that? Or
yes, no, I got the papers right there. Yes, I have the papers right there. I have it from the day they did my IDs to the day that it says medical discharge. That's what the papers say, medical discharge. So once you have a medical discharge, we all know that means release. And it don't have the date, but it have it called my fiance. They called her and told her, and they got her address on it, and they contacted the medical department out where she lived at. So everything was basically done. I was just waiting for that day, and it never came. It never came.
So you're going to the state Supreme Court now.
Yes, and I'm praying that they see it for what it is and make the right decision.
Did you get to go to the court proceeding?
Yes.
In November?
Yes, November 18th. I went to Albemarle County Court, and like I said, the judge, she heard the ACLU, Ms. Greenspan, her argument, and the Commonwealth or District Attorney argument, and she went with the Commonwealth, the Attorney General side.
So will you go in March 13th?
If they allow me to, yes. Yes, I don't know yet how that procedure is, but she didn't tell me. My attorney did not tell me if I was gonna go on this one, but if they would, yes, I would be there. Because I wish that I could have spoken, but I couldn't speak. All I could do was just sit there.
Do you know if you get to when it goes before the Supreme Court?
I don't know, but I hope so. Because this people don't understand how it affects a person, and not to compare it to this, but it's like you win the lottery ticket, and the same week you going to get it, they come to you and say, "Oh, we made a mistake." This is life-changing. It's life-changing things, and this changed a person's life. Even though that happens, I didn't act out of character. I still act the same way, still give the same respect, and don't give no problems. Because I can't let one situation dictate how I perform and I carry myself.
I tell your story to a lot of people, and I say, if that riot had never happened,
I would have been home. I would have been home since 2013. 10 years ago, I would have been home. And sometimes you have to go through things to find yourself and to know how strong a person are, because maybe if that riot didn't happen and I would have went home in 13 because I had a drug charge, who knows, I might have would have repeated and did another crime, another drug crime. But because of this happened, it's no doubt in my mind that it's never again in my forecast. Never. And like I said, this affected not just me. It was other guys that went down with me, and they got the same decision, the same outcome, the same everything. So this affected thousands and thousands of people. So that's 1,000 different emotions, 1,000 different feelings. And I probably could say some people did act out of character because they didn't know how to control themselves.
Do you know other inmates here who were supposed to leave as well?
Yes, it was 3 guys that was in my same dorm. Miller, that's one of them, and Mark. They were supposed to. We all came down the same morning to this same building right here, and they told us the same thing.
Here you all still sit.
Say it again.
You all still sit at this point.
Yes, we still here, not knowing if anything is going to change or if one day they're going to come and say, okay, y'all can leave now. We don't know.
How much more time do you have?
I leave 2024, April 9th, 2024. That's next year. I know it seems like it's not a long time, but for how long I've been in prison, it's a very long time. It's close, but it's still so far.
And that would be another 13 months of time with your family and your father.
Away from my family, whereas anything could happen to my dad. Like he could not be here tomorrow, today. We don't know. But one thing that we do know, if I was there, I could have been there with him if I would have got out last July to be there.
What kind of cancer does your father have?
Prostate.
Prostate, okay. What stage is it?
4. You know, so it could be any day, it could be it. You know, he's 84 years old, and he have his days where he don't want to talk. It breaks him down. And all I could do is just give him encouraging words and tell him, I'm coming. You know, just hang in there, Dad. And it's hard to hear your parents go through that and you's not there to help, to even be there to support. And to lose another parent in this situation, it would be devastating. It would be devastating, you know. And my daughter, she just like, Dad, is it ever going to end? When are you really going to come home? And I told her, I know next year is for sure, but I was supposed to be there for that big moment.
How proud are you of her?
I'm very proud of her.
Full scholarship.
Full scholarship. With me not being in our life physically, I have kept my contact the whole time, supported her, told her, you know, that's what you need to do because you don't want to be in a situation like Dad. You know, stay in school, finish getting it, stay on a positive route, do not divert for nothing. And it made me proud that she listened to me even in this situation. She knew that I was telling her the right thing. And yes, I'm proud of her. She been honor roll AB student for 12 years. That's why she got the academic scholarship. And she just got her first semester had just passed in December, and she got 5 A's, 3 B's. Like, I can't ask for nothing else. I can't ask for nothing else.
She's a great kid.
Yes. But
it's probably also tough because you're in Virginia. Is the rest of your family in New York?
Yes. I have no family down here. I have nobody down here.
So do you get to see everyone once a year?
I haven't seen my daughter since she was 10 years old. The last time I seen her was in 2012. And like I said, now she's 18 years old. I have not seen her. Not one time. I have not seen my father since 2012. Last time I seen my daughter was the last time I seen my father. Both of them on the same day. Seen my mother 2012. So I have not seen her. I have not seen her. That's why this was so important. That's why it was a devastating blow to her, as well as myself, because it's been a long time. It's been a long time coming, and it's hard. To this day, I wakes up and sometimes I think I'm in a dream. It's a nightmare because I'm still here where I was not supposed to be here at this time. You know, yes, I did a crime. Yes, I supposed to do my time, but I think I did more than enough time for something that happens in a county jail. You know, I did more than enough time. I mean, how would you ever know if a person is ready or if a person have changed unless you give them a chance to show that? You have to give somebody a chance. You can't just lock people away and throw away the key and saying that, okay, they need to be here for all the time because they didn't learn. How do you know if they learn unless you give them a chance? And unfortunately, some people do go out and do hideous things. And then some people say, oh, we should have never let them out of prison. This wouldn't happen. But everybody's not like that. Everybody's not like that. Some people need second chances.
Let's say that the governor was sitting here in this chair. You were given that opportunity to explain yourself. What would you say?
I would tell him that that's not what you did is not right. You can't judge it off of a piece of paper. You're judging people's lives off of a piece of paper. You are dictating, saying, okay, because his crime is more severe than this person's crime, he deserves to go in. This person don't. No, we are all humans. We have feelings. Our families is going through this. with us. We have emotional feelings now. If guys wasn't so strong, they might have a nervous breakdown, and I would have told them that you could have caused an uproar. So I mean, what you did, it was wrong. It was when you have no consideration for human life. You have no consideration for the next person. Only thing you looked at as he had a violent crime, and he supposed to serve all the time. But when the bill was initially discussed, it didn't say nothing about you having a violent and a non-violent, because how the system goes, you serve your violent charge first, and then you serve your non-violent. So in all actuality, I'm done with my violent charge. I'm serving my non-violent charge. So that's why I was eligible to go up and get the good time in the first place, because I'm not serving my violent charge no more. I'm serving my non-violent charge, and that's what I definitely would have told them that.
I mean, I would never have stamped you a violent criminal. I'm sitting here talking to you.
Yes.
Very soft-spoken.
Yes. I mean, just to be honest with you, a violent person don't have a certain look about them or a certain aggressive. It's just sometimes people make wrong decisions. But I'm not a bad guy. I'm perfectly not a bad guy. I love everyone. I don't care race, size, age. I love everyone, and I feel everybody deserves to give that love back the same way. So I mean, I would never harm anybody. I would never harm. And I believe many people done had fights, and they consider a regular fist fight a violent crime. A regular fist fight is a violent crime, and things like that happens. But again, it don't dictate who the person are.
I want to make sure I have the timeline correct. You were convicted on the federal drug charges in 2004.
2004, March 3rd.
Okay. And then in August of 2004, that's when the riot happened.
Yes.
In Albemarle.
Albemarle County, yes. That day was like I said again, it was a blurred day. It was a day that it should have never happened.
Was it you got caught up in the moment?
No, it was a couple of guys, and to be honest with you, a white officer called somebody the N-word, and that's how it all started. When that was said, it took a different turn, and that's how everything started from that point on. And again, we all gotta take responsibilities for our actions. Yes, can I have went about it differently? Yes, I could have. But again, at the moment, I'm 25 years old, still have a lot of rage inside of me, and that's how it all came out at that moment. And I wasn't the only one involved, but I was one of the guys that was involved. Yes.
So 46-year-old Antoine Anderson is very different.
Yes, 46-year-old Antoine Anderson is a very different person. I think different, I move different, I act different. And like I said, I respect all. I don't care who you are, I'm gonna give you that respect. Even if you don't give me that respect or you disrespect me, I'm still gonna give you that respect, because it's not for you, it's for me. It's not, I'm not doing nothing to please you, I'm doing it to please me. The God forgave me for a lot of things, because I'm still here and I'm talking to you right now. This right here is a blessing. So I have to take it as that and accept my blessings. And I always will. I will accept my blessings. Like I said again, yes, I'm broken. I'm not gonna tell you that I'm not. Inside, I'm broken. Because this really broke me down. But I still hold my composure and still be the man that I am. And never change. Anybody here, they could tell you, any staff member here, I always am respectful, and I always would be respectful.
I think that's it.
You know, I appreciate you, taking the time out to coming out here and interviewing me and hearing my side of the story and hearing it from me, how it affected me and many others, and that's very, I really, I'm grateful for that.